Mr. Kayamo, interestingly, you are a lawyer, and some of the criticisms that have come is perhaps the utterance of the president saying that they will be ruthlessly dealt with. If you hear a senior lawyer in the land, Afe Babalola, who also condemned that statement, what is your party's stance on that? Do you think the president should have said that?
Well, I think I've listened to so many uninformed comments since yesterday, and comments that are they are laced with heavy politics. Well, let me tell you straight away that there is no spin to put to the statement of the president. There is no need to repackage it. What the president said is 100% correct, 100% defensible, and I will urge him to repeat it over and over again. Let me make it very clear that the president said that whoever leads a band of thugs to go and snatch ballot boxes will pay dearly for it with his life. That is a correct statement of the law. Because if you look at the definition of thugs, people speak without looking at definitions. A thug is a murderer. A thug is a robber. A thug is a vicious person. The law is that when you are found at the scene of a crime, committing violence that will put the lives of people in danger, you can be shot dead on the spot. Every lawyer knows that one of the defenses to criminal liability is what they call justification and excuse. And that is what they call, that is justification and excuse, this particular situation. People have cited the Electoral Act, and I said those people are ignorant, that the Electoral Act says that those who snatch ballot boxes should be given some fine and 3 years imprisonment and all kinds of things. But I will tell you that under the law, if a person commits an offense, the prosecutor has an option to charge him under different laws. If those who snatch ballot boxes are robbers, by definition of the law, because if you take anything by force, you are a robber. That's the definition of armed robbery under the Robbery and Firearms Act. So if you come to a police station, take note, you don't even have to be armed, but in most cases they are armed. The Robbery and Firearms Act says that if you just threaten violence or use violence, you don't have to be armed. For instance, if you use a heavy blow to threaten somebody or to actually hit somebody to snatch the person's bag, that is armed robbery. Even though you're not carrying a weapon, it's armed robbery under the Robbery and Firearms Act. And what is the punishment? The punishment is death sentence under that act. Also, if you try to intimidate and overawe the state to take power by force under that constitutional means, that can be treason or treasonable felony. And I can charge the person under treason or treasonable felony because you are trying to change a government by force, by snatching a ballot box and changing a government under constitutional means. You can be charged for treasonable felony or treason. And the punishment for treason is death. So, for Christ's sake, I make no other coloration to what the president said. I make no other excuse. The president stated the correct position of the law, and I will tell the president to repeat it over and over again. We have had a problem of election rigging in our country since elections started in Nigeria. And it is high time we took a definite, harsh position on it, supported by law. And whoever does not like it, that means that is the person that is the rigger and the person that wants to snatch ballot boxes. It's just like somebody who comes to a premises and says that all prostitutes in these premises stink. And if two women come out and say, what do you mean? And the women begin to show their anger and frustration, that will tell you that you have just identified the prostitutes in that premises. The president did not say APC or PDP members, anybody who snatches ballot boxes. Since yesterday, PDP has been crying foul. And so it is clear to Nigerians who are those who snatch ballot boxes. And that is what the PDP has been doing since yesterday. So I want to tell Nigerians there's nothing wrong with that statement. Whoever wants to snatch ballot boxes, be prepared to pay for it with your life. If you are shot dead, that is what they call justification and excuse. And if you are charged to court, you also die. Any way you do, whether you die on the spot or you are charged to court, you under robbery or treason, you will still die. Either way, you will die. Don't snatch ballot boxes if you don't want to die.